Hi everyone. Let's create a new planner because I want to show you a new function that PDF-Linkr has. That was a request by a member. So let me show you the planner that I am creating. Let me go to my slide layout. This is in Keynote, and this is using the base template gold spiral template. So it has the gold spirals. And what I've done is I've just added an image after I've compressed it using PDF-Linkr. And then I have changed all of my patterns and background, added my January through December tabs. I have this 2024 tab that's going to link to my yearly overview. And then I've created a daily layout and a back cover, and that's all I've done in the master pages. And we're going to duplicate these pages to make an entire planner. So what I have here is I have the cover page, and then I have just the inner pages layout, and I've copied my welcome page, and then I have a yearly overview. So what I want to do here is I want to show you that I am going to go ahead and create the CSV for my yearly overview link. Actually, let's create a quick CSV for just to link this 2024 tab that's always going to come back to this yearly overview. So let's do that. So I want 24 to link to page 3. And I'm going to save that as a CSV, and let me make sure that I am working in the correct planner because I have so many going on. There we go. And then I'm just going to say this is the overview, and 3 is the page number for me. You can name it anything you want. So okay, so we're going to save that. And then now I want to, you can see I've got all of my monthlies already added there for 2024. So I want to create a link on all of these months that will jump to each corresponding page. So I'm going to create a document CSV, and then I want it January is going to be 4. So and if I can spell, that would be great. Okay, so if I go over here, January is going to be on page 4, and that's exactly right. So then this is just going to link to the corresponding months, and December is going to be page 15. So I'm going to save this again as month 4, just so I know, and that is going to be on page 3. Okay, so now I want to create the CSV to link all of my tabs. Okay, so I'm going to create a document CSV, and that's going to be as easy as duplicating the process we just did, but just for the text that's on the tabs. Okay, and I'm going to save this as tabs. Easy as that. Okay, so now we get into the fun part. So now I am going to use PDF-Linkr. I'm going to make a new slide, and I'm going to make that slide the daily. Use the daily template that I set up. I'm going to add a text box for the date, and I'm going to change my font. There we go. And make sure that it is pretty much in the right place. I might go a little smaller than that. Let's go 14 points. Okay. And then let's move it up a little. Oh, I think that'll be good. Let's see. We have to test it out and see. So, I am going to duplicate my Keynote files. What I want to do is go to Planner 10 and select the planner that I am working on. Okay. And then I am going to duplicate slide number 16 because I want to make all of the daily pages. But I'm going to do it in sections. You could, if you weren't going to link from your month down to your days, then you could just tell PDF-Linkr to duplicate your slide number, start date January 1st, end date December 31st, and it'll create all those daily pages for you and input the correct date. But then your CSV files to add the links from your monthly to your daily wouldn't be created correctly. So I'm going to input January 1st to January 31st. Oh, sorry. It's like, that doesn't seem right. Okay, I'm going to input the slide number that I want to duplicate, and then the start date is January 1st. And the number of days is 31 because there's 31 days in January. So I'm going to create the daily slides, and this box will pop up and it'll ask you if this is the first duplication, and we're going to say yes, because after it duplicates all of these slides, we're going to come back here and delete this placeholder. So I'm going to say yes, and it's going to come, and oh yeah, the date's fine where I placed it in the font. So it's going to create all of those daily pages for me, and then it's going to create a CSV for me to add all the links in PDF-Linkr after I export this as a PDF. So once it creates all of these dates, then it's going to ask me to save the CSV, and I'm going to say January, and January, the main layout for January, the month, starts on page 4. So I am going to say forward just so I know later in PDF-Linkr that that's the page I need to add my January links for. So I'm going to save that. Okay. So now I'm going to come back up to that slide number 16 and delete that because that was just a placeholder. Remember, I didn't have the correct date in there. So I'm going to delete that slide. So now I can just duplicate any of these daily slides, and I don't have to delete any placeholders. So I'll show you how. So now I'm going to change the date to February, and I'm going to change the slide number to 46, that's fine. And then put the number of days for 29 because there are 29 days in February in 2024. So I'm going to create the daily slides. Now here you would say no to this question, is this the first duplication? Because we're not creating a placeholder slide. So we're going to say no, and then it's going to create all of my February daily pages. It takes just a minute. And then it's asking me where I want to save that CSV. So I'm going to say February. And I know that February, the month overview, is on page 5. So I'm going to save it as February 5. Okay. So now you would just duplicate that for all your months. I'm going to change the start date to 3. I can use this same slide number. I don't have to change anything. And the number of days in March. And then I'm going to create the daily slides and say, no, this is not the first duplication. So that's going to do that. I'm going to go through and do that for all of my months. I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back when that's completed to show you the next step. Okay, we're back. That literally took me 12 minutes to generate all of the daily pages for 365 days using PDF-Linkr. So as you can see, we're down here. The last page is 381. I'm just going to open my little notes and I am going to say 16 is the first day of my daily pages because I know the December monthly is on page 15. And that's going to be 381 pages. Okay. So, I also want to add the links. Remember, I created my little welcome page up here. That's the second page of my planner. So, I want to use PDF-Linkr to create a CSV that's going to add a link to my Facebook group and then also down here to PDF-Linkr. The words PDF-Linkr, it's going to link to my landing page. So, I want to create a document. And the pattern is going to be Facebook group. And then I have the link down here in my little make sure there's no, yeah, I missed out on a H there, so we'll make sure that's there. And then PDF. You would think by now I would know my own URL, but we all have struggles, don't we? Okay, so then I'm going to save that as welcome page, and that's going to be on page 2. Okay, so my planner is done pretty much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say File, reduce the file size. I'm going to reduce this file. And then I am going to export to PDF. And save it. It's asking me where I want to save it, and so obviously I want to save that where I'm working in my planner 10. Yes, I know I'm creating 7 million of them, so I am going to name that PDF. It's just the way I do things. So it's creating the PDF file. Okay, and now we're pretty much done with this Keynote template, because now when I go into my planners, now I have a PDF. So if I open that, then you can see that all of my layouts are here, and my months are consecutive, and then all of my daily pages. So there we go. So now we're going to use PDF-Linkr to start adding our links. So there's a couple of them that are just single pages, so I'm going to add my PDF file that I just created into PDF-Linkr. I am going to load that in the viewer because I'm going to select a specific area to add my links to. So it loads up, and then I'm going to navigate to the welcome page. Probably not necessary, it would pick up the links anyway, but doesn't hurt. So then I'm going to, that is page 2 to page 2. So I'm going to select my page link, which is welcome, and I'm going to process those page links. And I don't know why it didn't process those page links. Let's see. What happened there? Let's look in the background of my linker. Let's see what the output says here. Oh, it's because I was doing it as a document link. Bad me. See, if you read the error, a lot of times that happens because I need to select it as a web link. So we're going to select that welcome as web links because silly me, I forgot. Okay, so those are added. So now when I go to my planner, it's going to say planner linked, and when I go to my welcome page, it will take me to my Facebook group. There we go. And it will take me to my PDF-Linkr sales page. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to use this. So I'm going to rename this as PDF1. So now I'm going to remove this PDF from the viewer because I want to now add that yearly overview. So I'm going to add in the PDF1 that has those web links in there. And this is going to be for all pages. So I'm going to delete the start and end page. I am going to select, let's load it in the viewer so it doesn't mess up any of the numbers 24 on any of the monthly pages. So I'm just going to select this right here and say use selected area. Then I'm going to select the page link CSV, and that was overview, I believe, yes. So then we're going to process those page links. And it didn't have any output here, so what that's telling me is that it didn't see those numbers. So let's just open up. I'm glad that did that because I can show you some troubleshooting. So let's open up that CSV, and we'll just open it with text edit, and let's just put in here space 24, and we're going to save that, and then let's run it again and see what we get. sure that it didn't create, because it probably created an updated PDF, which is blank. Didn't give me any links. So let's try this now. Okay, so I'm going to select the page link CSV again, and we are going to select that overview, and let's load the PDF in the viewer to select our area. Sorry, I get things moved around on my screen a lot. Okay, so we are going to select this area. Yes, we're going to select the overview and process the page links. And now it's thinking about it. But it didn't give me any output, which is funny. Let's take a look at the output planner and see if that added my links. No, it did not. So it's having trouble picking that up. I'm not sure why. Let's try one more thing. Let's go to our CSV overview, and we will open it with, and let's add space 24 space, and then 24 space. It might be the way that I have the kerning set. So let's give that a shot. Let's delete that updated one. This is turning into a little bit of a long video, but that's okay. It shows you how to troubleshoot things. So we're going to delete that, and then let's try again with let's see if it gives me now. It's not linking to that. I'm wondering why. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to open my PDF. Delete that one. I'm going to open my PDF, and then I am going to select that text box and copy it, and come back to my text edit and just paste it. Okay? And let's see. Sometimes that does the trick. So let's try that. Of course, when you're making a video, you always run into all kinds of problems, don't we? And I'm going to select this area. Selected. There we go. I don't know what the kerning problem was on that one, but we finally got it to link. Okay. So now I am going to use that updated PDF. So I'm going to rename that as PDF 2. So now I'm going to add my all of my monthly tab links. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to add a new. I get rid of all of this so I can see the output, make sure the links are being added. So I'm going to remove that PDF. I'm going to add that updated one that we renamed PDF2. That's the one that has the links there. So, and then I'm going to load it in the viewer because we're going to do the tabs now. And select the area. And then I'm going to page link CSV, and then I want to use my tabs, and that's going to add all of the links to all of my tabs. And it's thinking for a second. There we go. Okay. All my tabs are added. Wonderful. Let's make sure that it didn't miss any text. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Perfect. Okay. So now I want to start adding I'm going to do one page, and then we'll get into the batch processing where we've added the updates. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to add the updated one. Okay, because I want to do my yearly overview. So I'm going to load that in the viewer because I just want to select the area here. So I just want to select this area because I don't want it to get confused by any of this January, February, March over here. Use that selected area, and that is going to be on page monthly overview 3. So I'm going to say start page 3 in page 3, and I'm going to process those page links. It didn't like the text. I'll probably have to mess with the kerning on those months, but let's get to the batch processing because that's where the update is. So I am going to add that PDF, not this one. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. Okay. So now I'm going to add all of my monthly pages from the monthly calendar links to the daily calendar links. I'm going to pause the video and then come back to you and show you. Okay, so I have all of my pages loaded up and my CSV selected for my months. So, but I do want to load the PDF in the viewer because I want to select the area that I want PDF-Linkr to insert the links. So I'm going to go to my first monthly page, and I am going to select the months in the area there. Okay, so that selected area is going to be applied for all of these. So we're going to process, and it's finished. Now when I come to my planners, I'm going to have a whole bunch updated. So I want this updated 12 because that is going to show you that all of my links are added to all of my months, just like that. So now I'm going to delete all of these so it doesn't get too messy. I don't want that one. I want this one and these, and I'm going to move those to the trash because this is the most updated version with all of the links added. So that's what I want to work with now. So we are going to call that, I want to get rid of this one too. We're going to call this, rename it. You can rename it whatever you want, that's fine. Okay, so now here comes the magic. So we're going to hit batch processing. Oh, whoops, first we got to generate our Google Calendar links. So I'm going to create a Google Calendar links from January to December. And my planner's daily schedule goes from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then I want my time format to be I'm going to generate my CSVs. It's going to ask me where I want to save that. So I'm going to go to that planner file that I'm working on. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it Google, because that's where all of my Google Planner links are going to be created. So if I go back to that, now I have all of the entire year ready to link. Let me make sure that it created the correct. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so now I don't need to edit anything there. So now I can go into the batch processing. And this is, I really am very happy with this. So I'm going to add my PDF that I'm working on, the most updated with all the links. Okay. All the document links are ready. So then for page 16 to 381, because that's where my daily pages start, I'm going to select Batch CSV. I'm going to come to my Google, and I'm going to select all of these. And it has 366 files selected. I was a little confused there for a minute. 366 files. That's because it's a leap year, so there's 29 days in February. So now I want to view the PDF. I want to load it in the viewer just to make sure that it's not very picky, but sometimes it's just easier so you don't have to go back and back and back. So that starts on page 16, my dailies. So I'm going to select, this is where my links are going to be added, my Google Calendar links. So I'm going to use that selected area. So now all I'm going to do is say process batch. And it is thinking and adding all of those Google Calendar links for me. For 366 days, from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., it's adding all of those Google Calendar links in one click, which I think is a pretty big time saver. So it's thinking about it. And it seems like it takes forever when you're watching that little wheel spin, but it doesn't take as long as you would think. Usually you'll get a pop-up that says it's created successfully, but it might still be thinking in the background. But let's go take a look. Might be still thinking in the background. Let's see what it says here. Page not in document. So it's saying that I have an index error because I must have my planner pages out of range. Let's see. Let's see what the last page is. 381. So we started with 16 to 381. Isn't that what I did? Yes. Okay. 366 files created. Yeah, 16 to 381. Process batch. Thinking, it's seeing all of those links. exception in process batch links. Let me come back and see if I can find the error here. Okay, let's see if that fixed the problem. I haven't tested it yet, so I added a back page cover. I'm wondering if that error was telling me that the list index was out of range, which was saying that that number of pages was not in the planner. So let's just give it a shot. Tell it to process all those links, and we'll see if we get an error. I think that problem was that the planner only had 381 pages, so the list index was being out of range. For some reason, it wasn't recognizing. It didn't like that last page being a daily page, so I just added a back cover. So we'll see if that fixed it up for us. And I believe it did. I believe that was the problem. So let's go take a look at now our updated. I'm sorry, that was a little convoluted the way we did that, but that's okay. So let's just pick a day, May, and yes, all of those calendar links were now added successfully. So we can go to any date on our calendar, and we added all of those Google Calendar links in one click. So isn't that awesome? I know Yadzia, you're going to love this. This was a request from a user, but Yadzia's going to love this. So sorry for all of the mistakes in the video, but it's kind of nice because you can see what happens. Even I make mistakes, and it's my software. So I hope this saves you a whole lot of time, and I hope you enjoy PDF-Linkr.